hard questions. Now, this is not a debate type of thing. This is just, questions that maybe aren't the most comfortable to talk about, or if you don't talk about them in a proper civil way, it can get heated and spiral out of control. But, the Schmoedown is great, but it's not perfect. And even things that seem perfect and are great, you can still find questions to at least have discussions about. And that's what this segment is. And this week, this is one I brought up. And again, I want to before I bring up the question, I want to say this is not taking away from any, this is not trying to down anyone for any reasons whatsoever. We're just asking hard questions about the Schmoedown. And this one for me is, does having celebrities in the Schmoedown take away from the competition? And now the way I word that is very important, because obviously we've seen that Smith and Jericho, they can hang on a certain tier in the Schmoedown. So there's no worries there. But you have to at least wonder, what if we get in situations where we start having celebrities in the Schmoedown, and they can't pull their weight, that kind of thing. Now, so far, we've not had that issue. I highly doubt Christian would just be like, you suck at trivia, but you're a big name, so come in.
Well, it kind of did happen. And that's why I'm not worried anymore.
Right.
It's kind of the flip of your worry, right? Because I would have said, please don't have celebrities because of what we saw in the past, except for maybe Brittany Young. It kind of felt like it was almost part of a when the celebrities have a tour, like they send out guest lists to see who they can go on what show, and they happen to have them say, "Oh, we'll put you in a trivia thing," and they're like, "Okay," and it didn't really always pay off. And the one that made me really cringe, like, this is not maybe. Don't do this is the star of what Evil Dead. What's his name?
Campbell or
wow. Okay,
I know, man. Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell.
Okay. Ash. Okay.
Ash, that's fine by me.
Him drunk on the table and just splurting. At like one point, I think it was just saying answers, and it was like what? It was an awesome train wreck, but it was a train wreck, right?
Yeah.
And I'm happy it evolved, right? Harloff understood this is a great asset. You can bring in people, but you got to be careful. There's some angles to look at than just, hey, let's see what's happening, because we saw what's happening. It wasn't always the best content, personally. But with the evolution of what we saw this season, hell yeah, because it's not just, hey, you're on a promotion tour. Come on in. It's really finding the people who understand competition and really want to sink their teeth and just showing what they got, and not just being there to being there, right? Because they're paid for it. And so that evolution really works, and I cannot wait to see what else evolves from it, because it went from bad to yes, please, in a very short time, and it's going to just get better, personally.
Yeah. Now, there's another angle I want to hit this from. Is okay. Now, obviously, the value of having celebrities in the Schmoedown is unmeasurable. I mean, it brings so much attention, and it brings eyes that can help build and drive the Schmoedown. And like we've already discussed, a concern would be that they can't hold their weight, but we've not had that problem so far. They can hold their weight. But another little angle perhaps is you could look at it that these folks, they're celebrities. They have their names out there, all that. So say Kevin Smith is drafted and he's good at it. He can hang, but there's someone else who's not a name, who's not a celebrity, who maybe is at least as good as Kevin Smith or Jericho, if not better, but they aren't getting that chance because a name was drafted. That's kind of I think we need to just be wary of that too as we move forward.
I agree with you, but I would be worried if there would be a complete imbalance, right? Right now we're having one or two stars, and ACG said it right? It's not even draft. This is probably signing material. So he's really good. He shows himself, so he shouldn't be penalized just because his name is known. But completely agree. If it would be just about the stars now, and the only people coming in is the stars, yeah, okay, give the new guy a shot. But today, what we did is a testament of what Harloff is doing. We had rookies onto the show. These giving chances. He had so many submissions, right? And we already saw amazing displays of character. Father Loomis, or Brother Loomis, I forgot his true name, but he right off the bat for me, I was like brought back to like the church days, like ooh, like yeah, you know, and it gives shots of those people as well as the bigger stars, because why not? So if it's well balanced and it's not just for the show, just to sake for the show, but they can hang, or at least they understand what drive is needed to do this, and not have a situation like with a Sam, right, Whitwar for the Star Wars, that kind of got thrown in, yay, let's do this, but then realize I'm gonna have to do this again. And what do you mean I have to defend my belt? And I saw like there's a stream, right? When I was on Mount Schmoedown, follow those guys, they're awesome. We're covering Kem Nassau, and there's a stream him playing a video game. And at one point, someone asked another Schmoedown question. It was like, kind of like, don't bother with me anymore. Like, I'm not coming back, because if I win, they're like, oh, you're gonna have to defend your belt, and it doesn't interest them, right? So that's the thing that could happen with stars. Yes, I'll do like a little favor. Let's have fun. But then they realize you have to continue on. So you have to find those people who are ready to do a commitment. And that's actually harder to find with stars, right? So I don't think it's going to explode one way. They're hard to find. It probably took years for that to happen. So it's a celebration when it does.
And speaking of that, I would be really, I'd be really interested in knowing how Christian vets celebrities to allow them in the draft. Like, I mean, for all we know, he could have had 50 celebrities contact him that want to be in the draft, and he vetted them and was like, I'm sorry, but, you know, you're not up to our standard that we've got going in this league. I would like to know how he vets them, because I would imagine that you can't just be like, Chris Jericho, yeah, he's a name, let's have him. You would want to make sure, and in his case, we knew that he knew movie knowledge ahead of time, but you get what I'm saying. You want to make sure that they at least can hang to a degree on a certain tier, and that they're not just going to get blown out of the water and all it is just a name. You know, that's what we don't want.
And also, there's a progression to it. Like, Smith can hang. I think I personally would qualify him as a mid B lister, so between A and B, right? You got that fine line. He's not there yet, but he can actually be a really interesting threat. Then you got like the Jericho, which is D to C lister. He has a personality, he has some movie knowledge, but he knows what he knows. Right. But then you don't just throw him out. You don't do a Jericho versus Merle, you know, because
no.
you have the flirt and flouses. You have the, you know, late to the party, not late to the party, but the real rejects and stuff like that. Like having I forgot the one with the longer hair from Real Rejects versus Jericho, like would be awesome to see, you know?
Right.
So you have an evolution and test them out. If they Greg Alba. If they fail at it, and you know they still gave a good show, cool, because it wasn't a high tier match, but there's progressions to it, and I think you know Harloff probably vets, especially if you saw YouTube stars into the draft. But if like let's say I don't know, Kevin Feige's like, hey, can I do an exhibition match on you know on Marvel stuff? I don't think
exhibition's different than regular.
Okay, but
I mean, I'm talking about regular season point matches that you know.
Okay, but let's say I'm trying to think of another star. I can't find one. Just for the heck of it, never gonna happen. But let's say Tom Cruise is like, hey, I want to be I want to be in Schmoedown. I don't think Harloff is gonna be okay. Just answer me these 5 questions. I think Harloff is gonna be like, yeah.
That's kind of the basis of this question is we haven't run into that so far, but we don't know, which is fine. I've said it before. We as fans aren't privy to everything that goes on behind the scenes, nor are we, is it our business? It's not really our business to know exactly everything that's going on. But, you would, I don't know, you would just hope that it would not get to that. I don't care if it's Tom Cruise or not. If he can't answer questions, then you shouldn't be playing in this. I look at it like that. Like Michael Jordan goes and tries to play baseball. The only reason he got as far as he did is because of his name, Michael Jordan, and who he was. It had nothing to do with his baseball skills, and that's kind of the approach of this question in my mind, that kind of stuff, which again, we have not come across that problem yet. So,
and again, that's why you started them off with lower competition, right? So if they don't know that much, they don't do so well, but you have the lister and they don't do so well either, it's still equivalent, right? And it's like made a not worse person win, which we have matches like that in normal Schmoedown in just competitors, right? So things like that happen. It can happen with a star or no star, just as long you match perfectly. If it's entertaining, it works.
Now, as far as this, like the celebrities, really quick, this will be our last note here. As far as the celebrities and they may not be on the higher tiers, but they can hang on certain tiers within the Schmoedown. Mm-hmm. What about if Christian gets a minor league going? Celebrities, do you think celebrities would maybe feel like they're too good to be in the minor leagues and work their way up? I wonder how that would go with celebrities in the minors.
It's like saying, like, can all big men not bend down? It's generalizing, right?
It is.
Like, I've seen a 300-pound guy do karate and kick ass, right? True. So it's just saying, do all celebrities have egos bigger than their bodies? Some, yes. Some can, I'm sure you say to Betty White, "Hey, Betty, you want to be in the fan leagues?" Be like, "Yeah, sure." She can make fun of herself, so she don't give a shit. She's on screen and drinking her alcohol and just having some fun. So it depends who you have, right? It depends if it fits with what they see, or if I'm not getting paid and I'm in something called a minor. I'm not minor in anything, right? So it really depends.
Yeah. Yep. But that was this week's hard question. You want to hear something funny? The mic wasn't on that whole time.
No way.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, wow.
So smooth.